So I've been wanting to talk about Diaper Don for a while. It's been going around in my head, and obviously other stuff's got in the way. So whilst it's calm, the laundry's done, the washing up is done, dishwasher's ready to go. We're ready to, in an hour or so, to go to bed. I thought I'd talk about it so it's not running around in my head when I'm trying to sleep for the first time in I don't know how many nights. Um, I have been thinking about. I watched this morning, or started to watch, and then got interrupted and never got back to it. The town hall that he did, I think it was in Philadelphia, where he didn't really bother with it and gave up halfway through because he couldn't be bothered to answer questions. And I watched that this morning and thought and heard him say to someone, um, it was just sort of a lesser phrase than we heard him say specifically a few weeks ago. But he said to someone, at least one person, don't worry, we'll fix it. It'll all be fixed and you won't have to worry about it anymore. And it reminded me of a few weeks back when he talked to the Christians and, give me your vote. I love you, Christians. He doesn't love anybody but himself. I love you, Christians. I just want your vote this time. You won't need to vote again. And I find that really worrying. And over the course of the day, with everything else going on, I've remembered that some of his supporters talk about that there were no wars under Trump, and Trump didn't send anybody to war. And I was reminding myself that partly because he cozied up to the enemies of the West. So he cozied up to President Xi, he cozied up to Putin, he cozied up to Kim Jong-un, whose name I can never pronounce. And he admires these people. He likes these people. And the reason he admires them is they're dictators. And he wants to be a dictator. And he fully intends to be a dictator if he gets into power. And I was thinking, the only people, he won't be drinking the Kool Aid, you will be. He won't be drinking it. He will go off, get off scot-free, and everyone else will suffer. I'm watching now the guy called Anthony Davis, who does 5-minute news. And I find him really interesting. He's a British journalist, but lives in the US. And his latest vlog is Kamala Harris is more popular than Trump with actual voters. And he's talked about how it doesn't make sense. You look at the polls and they're really quite close, and you can think, how can that be? How can they be that close? And he's reminding me that there's a lot of interference going on. There's a lot of Russian interference going on. There's lots of bots. So, he said, even in this vlog, you'll find bots making comments, and you won't know they're bots. It's not obvious, but it will skew the look, and it will make it look like there are more supporters for Diaper Don or the Orange Sack of Pus. And that was good to be reminded of that, because it's disheartening to see the polls so close after all this time. I think I can't remember what he said at the beginning. I think there's a 2-point something lead for Kamala, which isn't enough. It's just not enough. And I was saying to somebody emailed me, Kathy Eyes Open, who isn't able to comment on my YouTube and hasn't been able to comment for 9 days, and I don't understand why. So I was having a conversation with her in email, and she was saying how scared she is, and how close it is, and it just doesn't compute, does it? I was looking at the audience of this town hall yesterday, and there was a lot of audience stuff going on in front of the cameras, with the audience facing the cameras before Diaper Don came on stage. And I just looked at them and I thought, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why can't you, why would you prefer a man with a criminal record, a man who has been bankrupt so many times, a man who only cares about himself? He really, I mean, what struck me yesterday in this town hall was that he had on stage a Gold Star family who'd lost their son. And I thought, what a load of bollocks. Because he's really, really been horrible about veterans, horrible about people that have been killed on in the line of duty, which is what we say in the UK. I don't know what you say in. Maybe you do say that in America, but he's been really rude about that. He was awful about John McCain, who was a real hero. And then he has this Gold Star family on stage and makes out to be the good guy, and he is not the fucking good guy. And I don't understand why people don't see it. And I'm sad. I am really sad that we've become so polarized, so divided. And I'm English. I don't live in America. My sister is English, lives in England. And a few weeks back she dumped me because of my views on Trump. We're not even American. It's like what and it just didn't make any sense at all. It's like why? Talking of that, because she also likes Elon Musk. Anthony Davis talked about Elon Musk and talked about how dangerous he is, and of course he has so much ability to disrupt and skew stuff and do stuff with Twitter. But also the stakes are high for him because if Kamala gets in, the people like Elon Musk, the people with all that money will start to get taxed perhaps more appropriately than they are now. So yeah, it's very worrying, and I just don't understand why people think this man is their savior. And the Trump Bible was made in China. I can't remember what's written inside it. It's like a bloody commandment. I'm going to look. I'm going to pause you and look. And as I look, what's come up is him leaving people stranded in the desert the other day in 100-degree heat. Old people that got bussed in, but there were no buses to take them out. He doesn't give a shit about you. A new $1,000 version of the God Bless America Bible commemorates the day that God intervened in Trump's assassination attempt. It's printed in China, a country that produces more Bibles than anyone else, yet whose own citizens are restricted from reading it. But the Bible contains a warning for both China and Trump, observes Tim Farron MP. Hold on, because I need to scroll down. I can't see what Tim Farron said. But it's just like everything. All of the Trump stuff's made in China, isn't it? Any merch is made in China. The MAGA hats are made in China. So on the one hand, he's talking about bringing jobs home and all of that and putting tariffs on stuff bought in from abroad, and then everything comes in from China. Can't you see? Can't you see Republican people who are still going to vote for Trump? Can you not see? Right. Okay. Anyway, I suggest you don't drink the Kool Aid because he won't be. Well, actually, he won't be. Where are we? Because he can't drink from a glass. He picks the glass up and then I can't even hold it. But it's like he doesn't know how to hold a glass. He can't hold a glass and drink from it. So he won't be drinking the Kool Aid. What is that? What is wrong with him? There's a lot wrong with him, we know. He's a malignant narcissist, but there's so much more developmental stuff that's not happened with him. And yet everybody was looking at Biden. Everybody was looking at Biden's cognitive state. Everybody was questioning that, and nobody's questioning Donny Diaper Don. No one. Right, that'll do. So Thanks for watching. It's good to have said what I've said about Trump. It's been brewing and there hasn't been space, but now there has been. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the new subscribers, and talk to you again about the man with the crutches and the snazzy compression socks another time. Bye.